Hey there, Silver Recaps here. Watch out. At the beginning of the story, we see Alicia returning to her childhood home with her husband and 9-year-old daughter, Nora. This is the same home she once ran away from. The reason for her return is that her mom is terminally ill and expected to pass away soon. Alicia, being a nurse, feels obligated to come back, especially since her family's financial condition is not good. Alicia visits her mom but clearly shows through her expressions that she doesn't like her at all. She tells her sister that their mom's condition is critical and she should be in a hospital. Her sister explains that their mom explicitly mentioned in her will that she wanted to be treated at home. Now, Alicia has returned to the town and house she never wanted to revisit. Alicia believes her mom was a witch who practiced black magic. Her sister also tells her that their mom hadn't left her room in the past 3 years, often crying and screaming. However, Alicia remains indifferent and feels no sympathy for her mom. Soon, Alicia finds a job as a nurse at a nearby hospital, and her husband also secures employment in the town. Meanwhile, Nora starts having strange dreams after moving into the house. In one dream, she sees a little girl rising from her granny's bed. She wakes up scared and notices a dog in her room. Following the dog into another room, she finds a spider-shaped locket, which she decides to keep. Suddenly, we see the same little girl from her dream standing behind her, but Nora doesn't notice her. In the next moment, a machine in the room mysteriously starts operating on its own. This house holds many secrets, which is why Alicia never wanted to return. Her only memories of this place are bad ones. Before heading to work, Alicia drops Nora off at school, where she has already arranged her admission. While Alicia is at work, her husband is alone in the house and wanders into a room filled with objects related to black magic. This confirms to him that everything Alicia said about her mom was true. He then goes to Alicia's mom's room, where she appears to be unconscious. But as he approaches her, she opens one eye, startling him. The next day, a lawyer comes to their house to read Alicia's mom's will. It states that all her property has been left to Nora. This upsets Alicia's sister. Present at the reading is Alicia's uncle, who tells her that after her dad passed away, her mom lost her mental balance and began behaving strangely. He urges Alicia to forgive her mom, but Alicia remains unmoved and refuses to forgive her. Meanwhile, we see Nora visiting her granny's room, talking to her as if her granny is responding. Her dad walks in and takes her out of the room. Later, Nora cuts a small lock of her hair and places it inside the spider-shaped locket she found earlier. At school, she is followed by the same girl she saw rising from her granny's bed in her dream. Nora begins talking to this girl, as she doesn't have any friends and no one at school speaks to her kindly. One evening, while Alicia is talking to her sister, she hears Nora screaming from her mom's room. Nora is inside, and the chandelier above her is shaking violently. The door is locked from the inside, so Alicia has to break it down with an axe. When she enters, she finds the chandelier has fallen near Nora, rendering her unconscious. They move her to another room, and Alicia's sister notices the spider locket around Nora's neck. She is shocked because this locket belonged to their mom. Alicia's sister warns her, saying, "You need to be careful with Nora. I think our mom wants to take Nora to that same mirror she took us to as children." She reminds Alicia of their cousin's visit, during which their mom took them to a mirror where they all appeared as old versions of themselves. Alicia had intentionally forgotten these painful memories, but they now come flooding back. Determined to end it all, Alicia goes to her mom's room and turns off her oxygen supply. However, her husband arrives and turns it back on, saving her mom's life. Afterward, they decide to gather all the black magic-related objects in the house and burn them outside. While they are doing this, Nora watches them from inside the house. Later, when they return, Nora asks her mom, "What were you burning?" Alicia replies, "Just some useless junk from the house." Outside, where they had burned the objects, the same girl from Nora's dream appears once again. The girl who had appeared to Nora at school now walks barefoot over the burning embers, speaking in Alicia's mom's voice. It seems Alicia's mom has possessed the little girl's body. The next day, while Alicia's sister is at her store job, she notices a mask that triggers a childhood memory. She recalls their mom performing a ritual on her, during which she painfully pulled out one of her teeth. This traumatic memory still haunts her. Meanwhile, Nora continues her friendship with the mysterious girl from her dreams. The girl returns the spider locket that Alicia's sister had taken from Nora. Later at school, one of Nora's classmates makes remarks about her family, which enrages her. Losing control, Nora violently attacks the classmate, leaving them badly injured. This incident leads to Nora being suspended from school for a few days. Alicia's sister shares her suspicions with Alicia, saying, "I think Mom is using the spider locket to control Nora, just like she used it to control us as kids." They search for the locket but fail to find it. The following evening, as Alicia's sister returns from her store, she encounters Nora with the possessed girl. Speaking in their mom's voice, the girl taunts her, saying, "Are you looking for the spider locket?" Terrified, Alicia's sister freezes. Their mom's voice continues, "It's in the garden. Come with us and dig it up." They head to the garden where Alicia's sister begins digging. After a deep hole is made, Nora suddenly says, "Is this the locket you're looking for?" revealing the spider locket around her own neck. Furious, Alicia's sister attempts to attack the possessed girl, but Nora strikes her with a shovel. At this point, the girl transforms into Alicia's mom and kills her sister, burying her in the hole she had just dug. We see Nora's mom and dad searching for her, unaware that she has already returned home with the mysterious girl. Nora enters her granny's room, clearly frightened, as she knows her aunt, her mom's sister, has been killed by this girl. The girl then speaks to Nora's granny, saying, "Nora is ready, she just needs to look into your eyes." Following this, her granny opens her eyes, and a demonic presence fills the room. A black, tar-like liquid emerges and attaches itself to Nora's body, seeping inside her. Nora is now completely transformed. The next day, Alicia is shown deeply worried about her sister's sudden disappearance. She doesn't yet know that her sister has been killed and buried in the garden. Meanwhile, their dog is seen wandering around the spot where the body is buried. Nora arrives and kicks the dog away, which Alicia notices. However, she doesn't suspect anything unusual. Later, Alicia and her husband go to the police station to file a missing report for her sister. Back at the house, Nora opens her granny's wardrobe and finds a small box inside. When she opens it, she discovers 3 lockets. The first locket contains the tooth of her mom's sister, the one their granny had pulled out during a ritual in their childhood. The second locket contains a nail, and the third contains a finger. Holding these items, Nora moves to another room where her granny and her mom, Alicia, are present. She turns off her granny's oxygen supply and says, "I don't need this body anymore," meaning her granny's soul has now entered her body. Alicia realizes this because Nora's behavior becomes exactly like her mom's. Alicia attacks her, but Nora quickly shifts back to her childlike form, revealing that her granny's soul can enter and leave her body at will. That night, during dinner, Alicia's husband asks her how her father died. Alicia explains, "One night, we were playing hide and seek with our dad. My sister and I hid, and while our dad was looking for us, he fell down the stairs and died. Since then, my mom always blamed my sister and me for his death." While Alicia is explaining, Nora, in her granny's voice, says, "You're lying." Shocked by this, Alicia's husband says, "We need to leave this house as soon as possible." Nora then goes to her granny's room and asks, "Will you kill my mom?" Her granny replies, "No, I won't kill her own. I'll kill her husband so she'll always suffer." Alicia overhears this and becomes scared. Alicia calls her husband, but he doesn't answer, which terrifies her. She goes to her mom's room but finds it empty. Panicking, she goes to the basement where strange things begin to happen. Suddenly, her mom appears, hanging upside down in front of her, scaring her. Outside, we see Alicia's husband arriving at the house. As he walks inside and sees Nora standing in front of him, he asks her, "Where's your mom?" Nora replies, "She's in the basement." He heads towards the basement, and the story transitions into a flashback. In the flashback, a young Alicia is playing hide and seek with her sister and dad. While hiding under the stairs, her dad is coming down. Alicia grabs his legs, causing him to fall forward. Tragically, he lands on a horn-like object, which results in his death. This is why Alicia's mom has always hated her, because her actions caused her dad's death. Back in the present, Alicia finds her daughter, Nora, lying on her mom's bed with the oxygen mask on her face. As Alicia approaches her, her mom suddenly crawls out from under the bed and attacks her. At that moment, Alicia's husband arrives and fights off her mom to save Alicia. He strikes her multiple times until she falls to the floor, gasping for her last breaths. However, just as they think it's over, Nora, standing behind her dad, jumps on him and attacks him. Not wanting to harm his daughter, Alicia's husband hesitates but ultimately throws her out of the window to stop her. Nora falls and is severely injured. Realizing what he has done, Alicia's husband is devastated. Alicia knows that as long as her mom is alive, Nora will survive as well. To save her daughter, she gives her mom CPR, reviving her. At the same moment, Nora, lying outside, opens her eyes, alive once again. After this, we see Alicia's mom in the hospital, looking better than before. When no one is around, Nora arrives and says, "It's time for you to go to the world of light. Your time is over." She moves to turn off her granny's oxygen supply, but her granny suddenly sees her husband standing behind Nora. He transforms into a demon, and all the memories of how her husband died because of Alicia come flooding back. Realizing this, Alicia's mom attacks Nora, showing that she will never forgive her daughter Alicia or move on to the world of light. Instead, she intends to take revenge on Alicia for her husband's death. At that moment, we see Nora waking up in the hospital, realizing that everything she saw was during her unconscious state. She tells her mom and dad, I love you both so much." Alicia, deeply moved, decides to leave this place forever with her daughter and promises to shower her with love so her mom's soul can never control her again. The family drives away, leaving everything behind. As Nora sits in the back seat of the car, she scratches the seat with her nails, just like her granny used to do. This shows that her granny still has complete control over her. We then see 2 missing persons posters in the town. This implies that Alicia's mom killed the little girl too, and she is still determined to take revenge on her daughter. The story reveals that after Alicia's father's death, caused indirectly by Alicia as a child, her mom lost her sanity, turned to black magic, and performed countless rituals. These rituals changed her entirely and led to the events we see today. What do you think? Was it entirely Alicia's mom's fault, or did Alicia have a role to play as well? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. We hope you enjoyed this story.